Hello, it's Jeannie. How are you? I hope you're well. Truly. I've been asked about the smoothies I've been making every morning, and I'm going to say almost every morning, probably 5 to 6 mornings a week. So sometimes we'll have something else like avocado and an egg on toast, something like that. But for the most part, it's a smoothie. And I do variations of what goes in the blender. And I thought I'd go over that with you and share with you some of my, I don't want to call them recipes, but they're just what I have on hand and what I've kind of come up with. Now, I want to preface this by saying I am not a smoothie fan. I really don't like smoothies. I don't. But it's an easy way to get in my nutrition, my vitamins, some hydration. And they don't taste bad. I'm just not a fan of the texture. I'd rather have a glass of orange juice. But that isn't very, nutritious in and of itself. And the smoothie is a way I can get everything in to really start my day. And I've noticed a difference. I've noticed a difference in my skin, in my eyes, in my sleep. And I'm going to tell you about some of these things. I've made some notes so I don't forget. And that is one of the reasons that I'm doing smoothies, is to help my brain, to protect my brain. So I just want to show you some of my go-to strategies and recipes, okay? So, to start with, my everyday go-to is a nutrient-dense, easy to digest smoothie. And here's what goes into it. A good cup, a very big cup of leafy greens. So that could be spinach, kale, mixed greens, microgreens. And I alternate those because they can be high in oxalates, and so I want to just kind of alternate my greens. I do a good cup of strawberries, and I keep them, I just buy a huge bag and keep it in the freezer and just scoop out a cup. And I put another 3/4 of a cup, I'd say, to a cup of frozen blueberries. Now, they can be very hard on a blender, and so what I do is I put them in the bowl and I just kind of defrost them for 30 seconds so that the blender doesn't choke up. It's a great blender. It's a blend tech, but still I try to make it a little easier. Or what I'll do is I'll put the stuff in the blender and let it sit for half an hour and then come back and blend it all. Then let's see, so blueberries, a banana, and a banana has, of course, potassium. And I used to have a thing about bananas being high in sugar and kind of afraid of the carbs, but I kind of made peace with that. I do a good 3/4 cup, sometimes up to a cup of Greek whole milk yogurt. And I'm going to talk about some of these ingredients and why I choose them. I do a 1/2 cup of either coconut milk, soy milk, or oat milk, because you need some liquid. I do 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, because chia seeds are so good for you, and you don't taste them, but they do get stuck in your teeth. And then I'm going to talk about creatine. And these shakes or these smoothies are very forgiving. You don't have to measure exactly, and if you substitute a fruit, that's fine. The one thing you do want to watch is how much fruit to vegetable to protein you're putting in, because you don't want it all fruit and get a sugar spike. The protein and the fat and the greens kind of help balance out the sugars from the fruits. And berries are so good for you. Berries are the number one fruit I think you should be using. And then I just blend it up. If it's too thick, I add a little water. Sometimes I add a little orange juice, okay, to the consistency that I want. I also add a very healthy teaspoon or two of cinnamon, okay, cinnamon, and that helps the flavor as well. Okay, another one I make is about a cup of strawberries, a cup of blueberries, a 1/2 to 3/4 cup of cherries, and you can buy those frozen as well. And again, the Greek yogurt, about 3/4 of a cup, and a 1/2 cup of the milks of your choice that we talked about. And of course, the chia seeds. Now you can also use flax seed if you wish. Or even hemp, but I use the chia. Here's another really good smoothie that we make. It's kind of a peach and citrus smoothie. And it's a very bright flavor. It just has a lot of brightness, and I like it on mornings where I want something a little lighter. So I do about a cup of frozen peaches, about a 1/2 cup of frozen strawberries, 1/2 cup to a cup of orange juice, the Greek yogurt, the 1/2 cup of coconut milk or soy milk, and the cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon to a good heaping teaspoon of cinnamon, and blend all that up, and that's really good. Now, the Super Greens smoothie. I make this when I want extra greens and I don't want to sacrifice flavor, but I just want more. I do taste it, but I know it's good for me. So I do a cup of mixed greens. I do a cup of the microgreens, some strawberries, a combination of strawberries and blueberries and a banana, the Greek yogurt, the milk. And I will also open up those capsules of the microgreen, super greens, and they have all those extra green things in them, like the phytonutrients and the like kelp and all kinds of stuff that I would never try to put into my smoothie. And blend that up and drink that. It does taste very green, not bad. And if there are any of these that you have a flavor issue with, add a teaspoon of honey. A teaspoon of honey sweetens it right up and it makes it taste really good. And then kind of another one I will make will be just a banana and strawberries, the Greek yogurt, the oat milk or soy milk, and then of course the chia seeds. So there aren't rules, but these are my basic recipes that I throw in my blender. I've been tempted to try some other greens. Like sometimes I see broccoli. It's like, should I throw broccoli in there? I haven't yet. I don't know if I should. Have you? Have you tried broccoli in a smoothie? I am doing, like I said, the kale and spinach. Those are my main greens. And I'm happy about that because, like I said, I am noticing a difference in my eyes, my skin. You know, nutrition starts from the inside, not the outside. One thing I've been very consistent about is creatine. And many people think that creatine is, and I did, is for muscle building. It's for more than just muscle building or muscle recovery from working out. It is also amazing for the brain as well. The brain is one of the most energy demanding organs we have. And there's research exploring creatine in areas like mental fatigue, cognitive function, neuroplasticity. So I'm not making any medical claims here. It's about supporting my whole body and my brain. And these small, consistent habits over time, I think, will make a big difference. You know how I feel, and you know what's been going on with my mom. And so I'm trying to do everything I can to take care of my brain. Now, for when I'm on the go and not making smoothies and being able to use creatine powder, I've got creatine gummies in the most delicious flavors. Orange, my favorite, sour green apple, watermelon, and blue raspberry. These, let me show you. Here's the blue raspberry. Goes with my blue background. 3 of these a day, and you're getting all the creatine that your brain and body needs. This is by Create, and these are the creatine monohydrate gummies. I can take them with me, easy to travel with, no mixing, no mess, and they taste really, really good. If you've been curious about creatine or you're looking for an easier way to stay consistent, check out Create's creatine monohydrate gummies. Use the link I provide in the description and the promo code Jeannie20 to get 20% off your order and free shipping when you subscribe. Thank you to Create for partnering with me to bring you these amazing products that I truly believe in and will be staying super consistent with. And these make it easy. So use the link in the description or scan the QR code here and use my code Jeannie20 to get 20% off your order and free shipping with subscription. So let's talk about some of the ingredients and what they do for you in the smoothie and why I'm so passionate about these smoothies, even though I'm not a smoothie fan. The leafy greens and microgreens, why they're good for you. They provide vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and they support your overall health, your digestion, your cellular function, and all without adding sugar. Strawberries. They are rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. They support your immune health, and they have a natural sweetness, and they're relatively low in sugar. Now, blueberries. They are high in antioxidants and are often studied in relation to brain health, memory, and inflammation. Cherries, fresh or frozen. I love cherries. Oh, I remember picking cherries at my aunt and uncle's house, and just sitting out back with a bucket of cherries and just, red-faced, fingers stained, spitting out the seeds. Oh, they were so good. And why they're so good for you. They contain antioxidants and compounds that support recovery and help with inflammation and overall cellular health. Bananas, they add potassium, natural sweetness, and the creaminess to the smoothie. And they help support muscle function and satiety, so you feel fuller. Now, the Greek yogurt. We use whole milk, and it provides protein for muscle support, probiotics for gut health, and healthy fats. We do need fats that keep you full and satisfied, and they balance out any of the sugars and kind of prevent you from having a sugar spike and crash. The coconut milk, and we're going to switch to more of the soy milk, and I'll tell you more about that another time, but it adds a healthy fat that supports feeling full as well and gives the smoothies a creamy texture without adding extra sweeteners. But like I said, if you're doing something that is super, super green, super, super duper healthy, add a teaspoon of honey. It does really help. Now, plant-based soy milk provides the hydration and creaminess as well, and soy milk in particular adds additional protein. Chia seeds, they provide fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, and plant-based protein, and they support digestion, heart health, and fullness. And you can kind of think of them like a broom. They just kind of help your innards get swept out gently. Flax seeds and or hemp seeds offer fiber as well, and healthy fats that support digestion, hormone balance, and overall metabolic health. And then again, that creatine that I'm just mad about in a great way. It supports cellular energy in the muscles for muscle strength, but also being studied for its role in brain energy and cognitive function. Yeah, with what's going on with my mom, that makes it really important for me. And then, when I use fresh orange juice in the smoothie, it adds, of course, vitamin C, but again, that nice, fresh brightness that kind of perks up the smoothie. And it's good for your immune health, of course. Frozen peaches offer a natural sweetness. They offer fiber and vitamins. And again, they keep the smoothies light and easy to digest. Cinnamon. Cinnamon adds an interesting warmth and flavor, and it supports blood sugar balance, I should say, and digestion. So all these things that are so good for us, I have not been doing. I haven't been getting all the nutrition I need in my daily from what I take. And I don't want to rely on just vitamins, taking pills. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to cut back on the pills and get my nutrition from food, real food, whole foods. I didn't start this all overnight. It's been a progressive, gradual thing. It's been a step at a time. You don't have to just, jump into a new health regimen, you can just start by adding one thing at a time. Maybe adding a smoothie, a simple smoothie, of just some fruit and berries and whatever green you have, and then add the yogurt little by little, adding more and studying up on it. Do some research. And what is it that you need? What does your body need? What does your doctor tell you you need? So, there are my favorite smoothies. It isn't scientific. Sometimes I add more of one thing, less of another. But there are some things that I am not going to change. That is the creatine. And if I'm not putting it into my smoothie, I've got my gummies. And we love gummies. That just makes taking it so much easier. So, thank you to Create again for sponsoring this. I'm just so thrilled that, I'm attracting the best people, the best products, and I love sharing them with you. So, again, check them out in the description. Let me know if you have any fantastic smoothie ideas, something that I can add that would be a big wow factor to my smoothies. If there's something special that you do that is particularly delicious, like I said, I am not a smoothie fan. I'm just bucking up and doing it and getting used to it. So, I just pray that I can stave off any kind of cognitive decline as long as possible. That's my goal. That's my goal. And stay healthy. And I love how I'm feeling. I love how I'm sleeping. I love that I'm not crashing in the middle of the day. That is huge for me. So, I'm steady as she goes. Yeah. Then, and I think I'll do what I eat in a day, after the smoothies. What I do mid-morning, like an apple, and I'll put some cinnamon on it. Lunch is usually like a big salad and some protein of some kind. Very simple. And the same thing for dinner. I might do some fish, some chicken, some meat, sweet potatoes, a vegetable, a salad, maybe some whole grain or wild rice, quinoa, trying to keep it healthy. Does it mean we don't ever go out and splurge? No, sometimes we do. But I don't feel guilty about it, okay? Because life is for living, not just for sacrificing and, being so strict that you're not enjoying it. I love food, I really do. And I want to have a healthy relationship with it, and I am at that point. I've had, periods of my life where I didn't have a healthy relationship with food, where I ate too little. Times I ate too much. It's like, yo-yoing. So I'm at a good place now, and I like that, and I'm going to keep it like that. But I want to be healthy. That's my goal. So, a long blah, blah, blah on smoothies and creatine. All right, my friends, take care. I look forward to hearing from you, hearing your thoughts. Share with me what you do in a smoothie that is wow. Okay? All right. Take care. Be well. Be well. I care about you. And I will see you very soon in the next video. Goodbye for now.